Welcome to Living Life in the End for the Successful and Fulfilled Woman. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, the Liberated Lawyer. I help women to get everything they desire in life by equipping them with powerful strategies to achieve the fulfillment they desire and deserve. Who said you can't have it all? Clearly, they did not know about living life in the end. When women make powerful decisions and create great strategies, they can have everything they desire in life. Girlfriend, forget about choosing between being successful or fulfilled. You can be successful and fulfilled. It's time. It's time for you to get everything you desire and deserve. It's time for you to live your life on purpose. It's time for you to live a life that is fulfilled, meaningful, and full of joy. It's time for you to walk boldly in the power of your decisions. If you are going to be in this world, you need to be fulfilled in this life. Life is too long to be unfulfilled. Join me for another episode of Living Life in the End, where you learn how to live fulfilled, fit, and free. Hey, it's time for Musing from the Mind of Dr. SDB, where I share poignant thoughts to help you live your life in the end. Girl, I've got something on my mind. You know, I truly desire for all women to be fulfilled. We should all be fulfilled. And when I say that with the greatest of sincerity because I truly believe life is too long to be unfulfilled. Most of us the average lifespan is, in the 70s, and with health and medicine technology advancements, the length of our lives is growing. There are many of us who will live to be in our 80s and our 90s. Why should any of that time be spent unfulfilled? And certainly, we're going to experience downs in our lives. We're going to experience lows, and not every day is going to be happy. And that's not what fulfillment is about. Happiness is often determined by what's happening in your life. It is relative to how you feel, how your life is going. It's relative, right? Fulfillment is truly this sense of being or state of being that transcends anything that is happening in your life. And my personal definition of fulfillment is the commitment to bringing the desires of my heart to completion. And I talk about that all the time and always encourage women to define fulfillment for themselves. I believe that everyone can relate to the definition that I have ascribed to fulfillment. And I hope that all of us are committed to bringing the desires of our heart to completion. But it really is important for us to seek joy, to seek fulfillment, and to make our lives more meaningful. You hear many ways of expressing the importance of making sure that our lives are meaningful. People talk about the dash between when you are born and when you die, and making sure that in between those two points in time that you've made an impact. And what that impact is and the scale of that impact is irrelevant, because some of us will impact the world. Some of us will impact one person. Neither of those impacts is less impactful. And that's the importance of recognizing that, first of all, you deserve to be fulfilled. And secondly, how you achieve that is truly personal to you. We were each given talents and gifts and abilities, and it is up to us to cultivate those in a way that serves our purpose. And what I find quite often is that there are many of us who have accepted that and have embraced that, and we have gone after fulfilling our purpose. And we may have even achieved it. We may even be high achieving women. And that is the woman that I'm always speaking to, the high achieving woman. And as high achievers, most often they are very successful professionally. They have the title, they have the corner office, they have the business, they have all of the trappings of success. But fulfillment gets to when you go home at night and you look yourself in the mirror. Do you see a woman who is joyful and can articulate the meaning of her life? And I believe that we should not be successful or fulfilled. I do not believe that those are exclusionary experiences. I believe we should be successful and fulfilled. And you hear me talking about living life in the and all the time. And when I birthed that concept, or when I began embracing living life in the and, it really was at a time when I desired to have it all. I was trying to find balance of being a wife, a mother, and a career woman. For me, at that time, that's where I was trying to be successful and fulfilled, because I had a relatively successful career. And the reason I couch it as relatively is I was in the C-suite, I was making six figures, I had a position of power, but it really wasn't fulfilling to me. I was doing a great job, but I didn't get excited about getting up going to work every day, and I didn't feel that I was growing, and it wasn't the highest and best use of my talent. And I had a choice at that point. I could just keep going. There wasn't really anywhere else to go in that particular company. The only position higher than me was the CEO, and I really, really didn't want to be the CEO of that company. Or I could go somewhere else, or, you know, try to find a position or a job that was meaningful and successful. And as I was going through that journey of trying to find balance in that way, I started thinking about living life in the end. And I literally wrote an essay about living life in the end after attending a Harvard Black alumni celebration, no, Harvard Law School celebration of Black alumni. And I listened to one of my law school colleagues talk about her own struggles with finding balance as she was coming to the grips of having a prior marriage fail, and now having kind of some of the similar struggles in her second marriage, which later on ended in divorce. But it was all around trying to be all of these people, trying to fit all of these roles. And so living life in the and came from my personal journey of trying to figure out how to be successful and fulfilled. I had not articulated it as such, as a mother, wife, and career woman. And that journey has evolved to where I am now. I am no longer a wife. I will be a wife again someday, but I'm not one right now. Wouldn't um, That marriage ended. My children are now grown. I have two adult sons that are able to take care of themselves and live in their own lives in their way. And now I only have room or only have to be concerned about being the best me. And I believe that as I am committed to being a successful and fulfilled woman, period, it will allow me to be successful and fulfilled in marriage, in my career, in my community, and anything that's external. And I truly believe that I am living life in the end because everything that I do, I think about it from the perspective of how, very important word, how can I do this and that? And it's not always easy. It's no secret that I practice law full time. I am a full time healthcare innovation attorney. I go to work every day. And I have a desire to help other women be fulfilled. So I make time and space for that. So it's like I work all the time, but this isn't work, to be quite honest. But my point is embracing this concept of living life in the and has broadened my choices, is expanded my capacity because in fully embracing living life in the and, I don't see my life from the perspective of siloed experiences. I see my life from the perspective of experiencing it on a spectrum. And sometimes living life in the end means going about the goals differently because sometimes you have to change your timeline. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that until you can do a lot of bit of both, you know? But it's always about looking at the how and asking yourself the how. And my journey is not complete by any means, and I don't desire it to be. I don't know how much longer I have to live. It is likely based on my own parents, I should at least make it to 70. My parents are 72 and 71. So, there's a high probability that I'll at least make it to that. But even if if it's less than that or more than that, regardless, I desire that every day that I live, that I have made an effort to be the best and highest version of myself and to make this life the best experience that I can. And I can truly say that I'm fulfilled. I do not have everything I desire yet. My finances are not where I desire them to be yet. I'm making progress. I'm not married again yet. And I won't say that marriage in and of itself is the destination. The loving and fulfilling relationship is the destination, but that's going to happen as well. I believe that regardless of how my fulfillment manifests, I am fulfilled in that I am at peace with knowing that I'm committed to my own fulfillment. And I always characterize it in this way: my life is far from perfect, yet I am in perfect peace. Because I truly believe that life doesn't go always as planned, but it always goes exactly as it should. Disruptive elevation, I always talk about that. And I am delighted every day that I get to experience a new day, for one, but that I also get a chance to bring the completion of the desires of my heart to completion. So many of you may know this, but if you don't, I've been a coach now for over 10 years. I've helped women to create their own fulfillment, and I can't express to you the joy that it brings me to help another woman step fully into her version of fulfillment. And this started even before I got my coaching certification. I've been a certified coach now, I think, oh, yeah, 12 years actually. Yeah, or Oh, actually, it's 10 years exactly. 10 years exactly. I got my certification, I think, in 2014. But even before then, I have been committed to helping other women find their seat at the table because it literally started out literally trying to get women at the seat of the leadership table at the company that I worked for. And I am blessed and so elated that I had the courage to advocate for other women because in doing so, I was able to help over 100 women. And this is documented. This isn't me just blowing smoke up your behind and puffing myself up. But there were 100 women that went through my leadership development program that I started in 2009. And I did, I think, 5 seasons, five um, rotations of that class. And it was 20 women each time. Oh, a little bit more, some seasons, but over 100 women. And the feedback I got was consistent about how putting them in that environment helped them to see the leader in themselves. And that was the point. I was just a facilitator, I was just the conduit. And I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of their awakening and becoming their best. And they have all gone on to do lots of great things. But since 2014, I have been coaching other women. I did it full time for about, let's say, 7 years. And during that time, I helped entrepreneurs to expand their capacity. I helped high achieving women to find peace in their lives and direction on how they wanted their careers and lives to go. And I have an affinity for working with other women lawyers. That's why I call myself the liberated lawyer, because that's what I am. I do practice law, but I especially love helping other women attorneys because I know day to day the pressures that they face and how those pressures show up. But those experiences are not limited to women who are in the legal profession, and those pressures show up in other spaces as well. But I have been committed to coaching. And even when I've not been coaching as a business, it is innate in the relationships that I've had and in helping other women because I want us all to win. And I do not subscribe to this belief that, oh, I got to get it all for myself. You can get it how you live it. I got it. You can get it. Yeah, I did a lot of things on my own and figured out a lot of things on my own. But I believe that I lose absolutely nothing by helping another woman to find her own path because she can't take anything that's for me anyway. You can't stop the shining. You just can't. So even if another woman tried to take something that I have shared with her to use it against me, eventually it just ain't gonna work because God don't like ugly. And what's for me is for me. I'm not in competition with anybody but myself every time. Every time. Anyway, lest I digress. I love coaching other women. I love helping other women. And one thing I find is high achievers that because we can do it by ourselves, we try and think that we must do it by ourselves. And high achieving women, I think, are one of the most difficult niches to help because we have been brainwashed into thinking that if you need help, that somehow you're weak, or that once you become a high achiever, that means that you got to do it all by yourself. And that's just far from the truth. I use my bodybuilding as an example. I'm a very smart woman and I can read and figure things out on myself. I have a individual determination to work out and do my best. I can go look up YouTube videos. I can do all these things, but I just know from my personal experience using that analogy that when I started working with a personal trainer, I saw changes in my body that I could not have achieved on my own, or maybe I could achieve them on my own, but it would have taken me a lot longer. And so that is the benefit of working with a coach. And even as a businesswoman, I still work with coaches. I have worked with coaches over the course of my career. And most recently, I worked with Patrice C. Washington to get an outside view on how I can improve myself, how I can show up better, and how I can achieve this goal that I have. And everything that she taught me, yeah, I probably could have figured it out on my own, but it would have taken me a lot longer. It would have taken me a lot longer. So I just want to encourage you, if you desire to do more, you desire to do better, and you've been doing it all by yourself, you may need some help, and that's okay. That doesn't make you less than, that makes you smart. And I always liken it to a CEO of a company, because we are always the CEOs of our lives. I always tell you that you're the CEO of your life. And very few CEOs, very few successful CEOs do everything themselves. They have a team. They have a team. They have a chief financial officer. They have a chief operating officer. They have, chief people officer. They have these people in the C-suite. And they're not there just taking up space. They are there multiplying the CEO's talent. Because when you work with a team, your talent is elevated because you get to multiply your capacity through your team. So it's important to realize that if you desire to bring the desires of your heart to completion, if you desire to be fulfilled, if you desire to be successful and fulfilled, you need to stop trying to do it by yourself. It's much easier to achieve higher, to become the best and highest version of yourself with a coach. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a coach. I'm saying that from experience. I'm saying that because I know that if you're in the picture, you can't see the picture if you're in the frame. So if you're in the frame, you can't see the full picture. A coach sits outside the frame and sees everything and helps you to see clearer. You know, I had stopped coaching completely for a while. I stopped coaching, one, because I had started back working full time again. And largely, I just lacked the capacity, the mental, spiritual, physical capacity to do both. Honestly, I lacked confidence for a while because I was dealing with my own things. And sometimes it is difficult to help others when you need to devote the energy to helping yourself. And over time, though, I began to miss that element of my life. And most recently, I have just received a confirmation in my spirit that there's more in me. There's more in me to help other women. And I have a true desire to help other women who are experiencing burnout and a sense of hopelessness to step outside of their frame and find fulfillment. Now, of course, because I do still have my health law practice, I only have select clients. I don't have a full roster, but I believe that I am more than just a healthcare innovation attorney, and my true calling and joy is to share my experience to help other women define and achieve fulfillment for themselves. And because I have this fulfillment to helping women to be successful and fulfill, I have developed a coaching program that is designed especially for high achieving women who desire more. And I know that high achieving women don't have a lot of time because you are out there achieving highly. and you are ready for more now. You don't want to wait until next year. You don't have time, perhaps, to go through an entire 12-week program. And you are ready for change now. So I have a program. It's called the New You Transformation. And it is a VIP day that is designed especially for the high achieving woman who is ready right now to be successful and fulfilled. And I just want to take a few moments and share a little bit about it with you so that you can determine if this is a good opportunity for you. The New You transformation is designed for the woman who feels burned out and uninspired. You're doing big things, but you don't feel the best about it. Sometimes it may be that you're ready to start over after a divorce or death or other disruption in your life. And you know what you need to do, but you don't know yet how to do it. And maybe you know what you need to do, but you need a little encouragement and direction to help you get there. You may be at a point where, like me, your children have left the nest and now it's all about you, but you don't really know where to start and you want to create a meaningful life for you. And if you're anything like me and you have approached your golden years and you're ready to make the next half, the best half, then this is a great opportunity for you to truly define what that means. And mostly the New You Transformation VIP day is for a woman who's ready to get more out of life now, ready to stop marking time and start living life. Life is too long to be unfulfilled. And if that's you and you are ready to create the life you desire and deserve, and you are really ready to co create that, and you're looking for someone who can help you see the picture from outside the frame, then I encourage you to sign up for a revelation conversation and let's have a talk. You can go to everythingideserve.com. I make that really easy for you because it is everything you deserve. Everythingideserve.com, and you can schedule your complimentary revelation conversation. And it is an opportunity for me to learn more about you, but mostly for you to learn more about how you can create the life you desire and deserve. And I promise you that when you leave your revelation conversation, you will not leave empty. You will understand the first thing that you need to do today to begin living your successful and fulfilled life. And when you embrace the journey of truly transforming the new you, you will walk away from that experience with a blueprint where you can start action, you can take action. The great thing about the VIP day is it is customized for you. It's not a cookie cutter experience. There are some aspects that are groundwork that everyone prepares, but each person experiences it in their own way. And I truly take what you learn about yourself to help you to create a plan, a strategy that you can begin working upon immediately when you leave your VIP day. And so if you've been thinking about, how can I be successful and fulfilled? I've got the answer for you. That is to invest in yourself, invest in the journey to become successful and fulfilled. Because the truth is, girl, it's time. It is time for you to experience a fulfilled, meaningful, and joyful life. And I must say, I would love to be a part of your transformation. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for joining me for another musing from the mind of Dr. SDB, where I share poignant thoughts that help you to live your life in the end. I hope you learn something. I hope you feel something. But most of all, girl, I hope you do something. Fulfillment won't happen because you desire it. It will happen because you decide to go get it. Let's get it. This episode was brought to you by the Successful and Fulfilled Woman New You Transformation, a VIP day for the high-achieving woman who is ready to be successful and fulfilled. If you are a woman who feels burned out and uninspired, or you are a woman ready to start over after a divorce, death, or other disruption, or you are a mother whose children are ready to leave the nest or are already gone, and you are now ready to create a meaningful life for yourself, or you are a woman who's approaching your golden years and you want the next half to be the best half, or you are a woman who's ready to get more out of life and ready to stop marking time and start living life, then we need to have a revelation conversation. Go to www.everythingideserve.com to schedule your complimentary revelation conversation, where together we will talk about where you are now and where you want to be, and begin to develop a plan to get you where you desire to be. You will leave your revelation conversation understanding the first thing that you can start doing today to begin living a successful and fulfilled life. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Living Life in the End for the Successful and Fulfilled Woman. Please be sure to let me know what made you feel something, what you learned, and what moved you to action. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on a great conversation. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast and let me know how you are living life in the end. Life is too long to be unfulfilled. Don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Tell someone else to listen for themselves. We should all be fulfilled. Remember, your life is the product of your choices. Choose to commit to bringing the desires of your heart to completion. You don't get what you deserve until you get what you decide. Life is too long to be unfulfilled.